The sun broke through the blinds in a soft golden glow that kissed Monica's face. She stretched wide on her bed, smiling because it wasn't just another day, it was her birthday. She had waited for this moment all year. She could already hear her mom, Patricia, humming in the kitchen, the smell of frying bacon filling the air. Monica jumped up, slipped on her fluffy slippers, and whispered to herself, "Today is going to be perfect." She believed nothing could go wrong. Downstairs, the dining table had a simple decoration, balloons tied to chairs and a birthday banner taped unevenly to the wall. It wasn't fancy, but it was filled with love. Her younger brother, Marcus, came running and shouted, "Happy birthday, sis." He wrapped her in a hug. Monica's heart swelled. It was the kind of day where she felt seen and loved. But behind that joy, there was tension she didn't yet see. Her cousin, Lacey, had also been invited. Lacey was known for her sharp tongue and jealous ways. She always wanted to be the center of attention, even when it wasn't her moment. And deep down, Monica knew that Lacey's presence could turn sweet things sour. But Monica brushed the thought aside. She wanted to believe nothing would ruin her day. By afternoon, relatives and friends began to arrive. The living room buzzed with laughter, chatter, and the sound of kids running around. Plates of food lined the kitchen counter: fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, sweet cornbread, and bowls of coleslaw. Patricia had worked all night to make sure everything was ready. Monica wore a bright yellow dress that made her glow. Everyone complimented her, snapping photos and joking with her. She was the star of the moment, just as a birthday girl should be. Then the door opened and in walked Lacey, dressed in a shiny pink jumpsuit with glitter heels that clicked loudly against the floor. She carried herself as if she was stepping into a fashion show. "Happy birthday, cousin," Lacey said with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Monica hugged her politely, even though she noticed the sharp glance Lacey gave her dress. Throughout the afternoon, Lacey kept making small comments. "Oh, Monica, your dress is nice. Simple. I would have picked something more stylish, but it's cute." Monica tried to laugh it off, but she felt her joy being chipped away piece by piece. Still, she reminded herself not to let anyone ruin her birthday spirit. By evening, the party had reached its peak. Music played, kids danced, and grown folks sat around talking about old times. Then Patricia called for everyone's attention. "It's time for the cake," she announced. Marcus and 2 other cousins carried out the cake, and the whole room gasped. It was a 3-layer chocolate cake with cream frosting, decorated with strawberries on top, and "Happy Birthday, Monica" written in neat blue icing. Monica's face lit up brighter than the candles that were soon to be lit. She clapped her hands like a child. "Oh my goodness, Mama, this is beautiful." Everyone gathered around, phones ready to capture the big moment. Lacey stood at the front of the crowd, her eyes fixed on the cake. She smiled, but there was something unsettling about the way her lips curved. Monica didn't notice. Her heart was too full. As the candles were lit and Monica began to make her wish, the room fell silent. Everyone leaned in, waiting to cheer once she blew them out. Monica closed her eyes, whispered her secret wish, and leaned forward to puff out the flames. Just as the room erupted with claps and cheers, Lacey stepped forward. "Let me help cut the cake," she said loudly, reaching for the knife before anyone else could move. Patricia frowned but didn't argue. She didn't want to start drama at the party. But instead of cutting, Lacey lifted the knife awkwardly, pretended to stumble, and then, smash. The cake slipped off the table and hit the floor with a thud, cream splattering across the tiles. The room went dead silent. Gasps echoed. Monica stood frozen, her eyes wide, her heart shattering as she watched her beautiful cake ruined in seconds. Kids pointed, adults muttered under their breath. Lacey stood with her hands up, feigning innocence. "Oh no! It was an accident," she said, but her smirk gave her away. For a long moment, Monica couldn't breathe. The sight of her ruined cake felt like the end of the world. All the joy she carried since morning drained out of her body. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. She didn't want to give Lacey the satisfaction. Patricia rushed forward, her face flushed with anger. "Lacey, how could you?" she demanded. But Lacey only shrugged. "I said it was an accident. Why are y'all making it a big deal?" Some guests tried to comfort Monica, saying, "It's okay, baby, don't cry," but she could feel the humiliation tightening around her chest. All she wanted was one perfect day, and now it felt ruined. Marcus stormed at Lacey. "You did that on purpose. You've been acting jealous all day." The room buzzed again with whispers, but Monica stayed still, staring at the cake smeared across the floor. Inside her, a quiet strength began to grow. She realized this moment could break her, or make her stronger. Monica turned away, covering her face with her hands. She didn't want anyone to see the tears that finally slipped from her eyes. The room was still heavy with silence, everyone unsure of what to say. Patricia put a hand on Monica's shoulder and whispered, "Don't let her steal your joy, baby." But Monica shook her head. "She already did, Mama." Lacey crossed her arms and rolled her eyes. "It was just a cake. Y'all acting like I broke a crown jewel or something." Her voice was sharp, her words cutting deeper than the mess on the floor. Marcus glared at her. "It wasn't just a cake, Lacey. It was her birthday moment. You ruined it." Tension filled the living room like smoke. Guests exchanged uneasy glances. Some tried to sweep the cake from the floor, while others whispered about how Lacey had always been extra. Patricia couldn't hold back anymore. "You know what, Lacey? You've been doing little slick things since you walked in. You came here to ruin my child's day, and you did." Lacey threw up her hands. "Oh, please. Y'all always think the worst of me. I said it was an accident." Monica finally spoke, her voice trembling. "If it was an accident, why were you smiling when it hit the floor?" The question hung in the air, sharp and undeniable. Lacey had no answer, only a smirk that betrayed her guilt. Aunt Geraldine, one of the elders in the family, stood up. "Now this right here is foolishness. Lacey, you're too grown to be acting like this. You should be ashamed." But Lacey wasn't backing down. "Y'all just don't like me because I don't kiss up to Monica like the rest of you." "Don't twist this around," Marcus snapped. "Nobody said you had to kiss up to her, but you didn't have to ruin her birthday either." Several cousins nodded in agreement. For once, Monica felt like she wasn't standing alone in the fight. Still, the embarrassment weighed heavily on Monica. She saw some of the kids giggling at the ruined cake, and others whispering as they recorded on their phones. She imagined the videos being shared later with captions making fun of her. Her stomach knotted. She wanted to run upstairs, lock her door, and stay there until the day ended. But Patricia squeezed her hand. "Don't leave your own party, baby. Don't give her that power." Monica nodded weakly, though her heart wasn't in it. She sat down, her dress slightly smeared with frosting from hugging someone near the mess. Her birthday glow was gone. As the evening dragged on, some relatives tried to lighten the mood by bringing out extra cupcakes they had in the kitchen. People clapped, trying to sing again, but it wasn't the same. Through it all, Lacey never once apologized. She laughed with a few cousins in the corner, acting like nothing had happened. Monica watched her, her chest burning. She wanted to scream, to demand an apology, but she stayed quiet. Deep inside, though, she made a silent promise. "This will be the last time she embarrasses me like this. I won't let it slide." By nightfall, the house grew quiet as guests said their goodbyes. Patricia hugged Monica tightly. "I'm so sorry, baby. I should have never let her near that cake." "It's not your fault, Mama," Monica whispered. "I just don't understand why she hates me so much." Marcus overheard. She doesn't hate you. She just hates that people love you. His words sank deep, and Monica realized her brother was right. Lacey's bitterness wasn't about the cake. It was about Monica herself. When Monica finally climbed into bed, she replayed the scene over and over in her mind. The gasp of the crowd, the laughter from the corner, the smear of frosting across the tiles. It haunted her. She pulled her blanket over her head and whispered, "Why me? Why today?" Her tears soaked her pillow. For the first time, she wished she hadn't celebrated her birthday at all. But then she remembered the faces of the cousins and aunties who stood up for her. Not everyone laughed. Not everyone mocked. That thought gave her a small flicker of strength. The next morning, Patricia entered Monica's room with a plate of pancakes and strawberries. "Breakfast in bed, birthday girl, even if it's a day late," she said softly. Monica sat up, her eyes still puffy. "Thanks, Mama." Patricia stroked her hair. "Listen, baby. Don't let what Lacey did change how you see yourself. She's broken inside. Don't let her break you too." Those words settled into Monica's spirit like seeds waiting to grow. For the first time since the cake fell, she felt a spark of determination. By midday, the story had already spread through the neighborhood. Videos of the smashed cake were circulating on social media. Some people laughed, others criticized Lacey, and a few even defended her. Monica scrolled through the comments, her heart twisting. Some said, "That girl did it on purpose." Others joked, "Imagine your cousin ruining your whole birthday. Couldn't be me." She slammed her phone down. Why do people enjoy watching others suffer? Marcus, sitting nearby, said, "Because misery loves company." But don't worry, Monica. The truth always comes out. That evening, Monica sat at her desk with a notebook. She wrote down everything she felt, the anger, the sadness, the embarrassment. But as she wrote, she realized she didn't want to carry this pain forever. She made a decision. She would confront Lacey directly. Not with shouting, not with tears, but with honesty. She wanted answers, and more than that, she wanted peace. Closing her notebook, she whispered to herself, "This isn't the end of my story. It's just the beginning." 2 days later, Monica called Lacey. Her hands trembled as she held the phone, but her voice was steady. "Can we talk?" Lacey sighed on the other end. "About what?" "You know what," Monica replied. "What happened at my party?" There was a long pause before Lacey said, "Fine. Come over then." Monica hung up, her heart racing. Marcus offered to go with her, but Monica shook her head. "No. This is something I have to do alone." When Monica arrived at Lacey's house, the atmosphere was tense. Lacey sat on the couch scrolling on her phone, acting casual. "So, what's up?" she asked. Monica sat down across from her. "Why did you do it? Why did you ruin my birthday cake?" Lacey shrugged, still scrolling. "I told you, it was an accident." Monica leaned forward. "Stop lying, Lacey. Everyone saw the look on your face. You've had a problem with me for years, and I just want to know why." Finally, Lacey put her phone down and snapped. "You really want to know? Fine. Everybody loves you, Monica. You walk in a room and people smile. Me? I'm always in your shadow. No matter what I do, I'm never enough compared to you." Monica blinked. "So you ruined my cake because you're jealous?" "Call it what you want," Lacey spat. "But I'm tired of you being the perfect one." Monica's heart broke, not because of the words, but because of the bitterness behind them. Monica took a deep breath. "Lacey, I'm not your enemy. I never asked to be compared to you. I just wanted to celebrate my birthday in peace. You didn't hurt me. You embarrassed yourself." Lacey's face hardened. "You don't get it." "No," Monica said, standing up. You don't get it. Until you stop seeing me as competition, you'll never have peace. With that, Monica walked out, her spirit lighter than when she entered. Word spread quickly that Monica had confronted Lacey. Aunt Geraldine praised her. You handled it with grace, baby. That's how a woman should stand. But not everyone agreed. Some cousins whispered, she shouldn't have gone over there. That's family business. Patricia stood firm. Family or not, wrong is wrong. And my daughter has every right to protect her dignity. Monica realized then that families could be divided, but truth always had its defenders. After the confrontation, Lacey avoided Monica completely. She didn't call, didn't visit, and when they saw each other at church, she turned her head away. At first, Monica felt hurt. But then she understood. Silence was Lacey's way of holding on to pride. Monica refused to let it bother her. Instead, she focused on her own healing. She started journaling every day, turning her pain into words. Slowly, she found strength in her own voice. Meanwhile, the neighborhood still hadn't let the incident go. Some kids made jokes when Monica walked by. Hey, don't drop the cake. Others teased Marcus, calling him Cake Boy. It stung, but Monica didn't lash out. Instead, she kept her head high. One day, she turned to Marcus and said, they laugh because that's all they can do. But I'll rise because that's what I was born to do. Marcus grinned. That's my sister talking. Weeks passed, but Monica couldn't shake the memory of her ruined birthday. Every time she saw a cake in a store window, the image of her smashed dessert flashed before her eyes. One night, Patricia sat beside her and said, you know what I see when I think about that day? Not the cake. Not the mess. I see my daughter standing tall in the middle of humiliation. That's strength. Monica smiled faintly. For the first time, she realized her mother was right. The cake was gone, but the lesson remained. One afternoon, Monica was invited to speak at a youth group in her neighborhood. They asked her to talk about resilience. At first, she hesitated, but then she remembered the birthday incident. Standing in front of the teens, she said, sometimes people will try to knock down your joy, like knocking a cake to the floor. But what matters is not what they do to you, but how you rise afterward. The room erupted in applause. Monica felt a new fire burning inside her. She was no longer just a victim of Lacey's jealousy. She was a survivor with a voice. By the end of the month, Monica looked at herself in the mirror and saw someone new. She wasn't the same girl who cried when her cake was smashed. She was stronger, wiser, and braver. She still hoped one day Lacey would apologize, but she no longer needed it to heal. She had learned that her worth wasn't tied to anyone's approval, not even family. With a deep breath, Monica whispered, next year, my birthday will be different. It will be mine, and no one will steal it again. Her reflection smiled back at her, and she knew she had found her power. Time passed. Monica focused on her studies, her small church group, and her writing. The bitterness from the birthday incident began to fade, though scars still lingered. Every so often, she caught whispers about Lacey, how she stayed distant, how she complained to others that Monica thought she was better. But Monica refused to let gossip hold her hostage. People will talk, she told Marcus one evening. But I won't let their words chain me. He nodded, proud of the courage shining in his sister's eyes. One Saturday afternoon, Monica's phone buzzed. To her surprise, it was Lacey. For a moment, she considered ignoring it, but something in her heart told her to answer. Hey, Lacey said flatly. Monica stayed calm. Hey. There was silence, then Lacey muttered. I heard you spoke at that youth group. People been talking about it. They said you sounded strong. Monica didn't gloat. Yeah, I shared my story. Well, Lacey paused. I guess good for you. Then she quickly hung up. It wasn't an apology, but it was the first crack in the wall between them. Months later, the family gathered for Thanksgiving dinner. It was the first time Monica and Lacey would see each other since the incident. The room was filled with delicious smells, laughter, and warm chatter. When Lacey walked in, she glanced at Monica but said nothing. Monica smiled politely and kept her focus on the rest of the family. She had learned not to chase validation. During dinner, Aunt Geraldine suddenly said, "I'm glad to see both Monica and Lacey here. Life's too short for grudges." The room grew still, waiting for one of them to respond. All through dinner, Lacey avoided Monica's gaze. But Monica could feel her cousin's restless eyes flickering toward her. It was as though guilt sat heavy on Lacey's shoulders, but pride kept her mouth shut. Later, while washing dishes, Monica whispered to her mom, "I don't expect her to say sorry, but I do want peace." Patricia smiled. "Peace doesn't always come with an apology, baby. Sometimes peace is what you carry in your own heart." Monica nodded, finally beginning to understand. As the months rolled on, Monica's next birthday drew near. She planned a smaller, more intimate celebration, just her immediate family and a few close friends. When Patricia asked, "Should we invite Lacey?" Monica thought for a long time before answering. "Yes. If she comes, it's her choice. I won't live in fear of her." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "You sure about that?" Monica smiled. "Absolutely. This year, I'm celebrating for me, not for anyone else." On the big day, Monica woke up with calm joy in her heart. She wore a simple blue dress and braided her hair neatly. The decorations were minimal, but the love in the room was overflowing. The cake this year was smaller, but Monica didn't care. It wasn't about size, it was about meaning. Guests laughed, music played, and Monica felt lighter than she had the year before. For the first time in a long time, she was truly free. To everyone's surprise, Lacey showed up. She walked in quietly, holding a small gift bag. The room hushed for a moment, all eyes on her. Monica took a breath, then smiled warmly. "Glad you came, Lacey." Lacey nodded awkwardly. "Thanks for inviting me." It was the first step, and though the tension still lingered, Monica refused to let it ruin her spirit. When it came time to cut the cake, Monica stood tall. Patricia lit the candles, and everyone sang. Monica made her wish, then blew them out with confidence. She picked up the knife and smiled. "This year, I'm cutting my own cake." Laughter and cheers filled the room. For a brief moment, Monica caught Lacey's eyes. Lacey looked away, her expression unreadable. But this time, there was no drama, no sabotage, only peace. After the party wound down, Lacey approached Monica as she was cleaning up. Her voice was low. "Listen, about last year. I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong." Monica froze, then slowly nodded. "Thank you for saying that." Lacey shifted uncomfortably. I'm sorry. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't emotional, but it was sincere." Monica accepted it, not because she needed it to heal, but because she had already found peace within herself. That night, as Monica lay in bed, she reflected on everything that had happened. From the ruined cake to the tears, from the confrontation to the forgiveness, it had all shaped her into the woman she was becoming. She realized birthdays weren't just about cake and balloons. They were about growth, about love, about learning who truly stood by you. Smiling to herself, she whispered, "No one can smash my joy again. Because my joy isn't in a cake, it's in me." And with that, Monica drifted off to sleep, stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever life would bring.